July 2nd, 1937. Somewhere over the Pacific Ocean, a crackling radio transmission cuts through the static. We are on the line 157337. We will repeat this message. We are running on line north and south. Then, nothing. Silence. The most famous woman in the world had just vanished. The United States Navy launched the largest search operation in history. 4,000 soldiers, 10 ships, 65 aircraft. They searched 250,000 square miles of open ocean. They found nothing. No wreckage, no bodies, no answers. Amelia Earhart was gone. And the mystery of what happened to her has never been solved. To understand why her disappearance shook the world, you first need to understand who Amelia Earhart was. Born in 1897 in Atchison, Kansas, Amelia was never like other girls of her time. While other children played with dolls, she climbed trees, hunted rats with a rifle, and kept a scrapbook of newspaper clippings about women who succeeded in male-dominated careers. In 1920, at age 23, she took her first airplane ride. It lasted just 10 minutes. But those 10 minutes changed everything. As soon as we left the ground, I knew I myself had to fly. She took flying lessons, worked multiple jobs to pay for them, and within a year, she had her pilot's license. At a time when women were expected to stay home, Amelia Earhart was breaking altitude records at 14,000 feet. In 1928, she became the first woman to cross the Atlantic Ocean as a passenger. But that wasn't enough for her. In 1932, she did it again. This time, alone, flying solo across the Atlantic just like Charles Lindbergh. Except she did it faster. America was obsessed with her. She was a celebrity, a hero, a symbol of what women could achieve. But for Amelia, there was always one more challenge left. By 1937, Amelia Earhart had one dream left: fly around the entire world along the equator. It had never been done before. The route was 29,000 miles long, the longest, most dangerous path anyone had ever attempted. On June 1st, 1937, Amelia and her navigator, Fred Noonan, took off from Miami, Florida in a Lockheed Electra 10E, a twin-engine silver airplane loaded with extra fuel tanks. For the next month, they flew east, across the Atlantic, Africa, India, Southeast Asia, and Australia, stopping city by city, cheered by crowds everywhere they landed. By July 2nd, they had flown 22,000 miles. They were almost done. There was just one final stretch left, a 2,556-mile flight over open ocean from New Guinea to a tiny speck of land called Howland Island, barely 2 miles long and 1 mile wide. Finding a tiny island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with 1930s navigation technology after flying through the night, it was like finding a needle in a haystack the size of a continent. At 12:30 a.m. on July 2nd, they took off from New Guinea. They were never seen again. The U.S. Coast Guard ship Itasca was stationed near Howland Island, waiting to guide Amelia in by radio. Through the night, the Itasca heard nothing. Then at 7:42 a.m., Amelia's voice crackled through. "We must be on you, but cannot see you. Gas is running low." The Itasca desperately tried to respond, sending signals, smoke signals, everything they could. At 8:43 a.m., her last transmission came through. Voice high-pitched, clearly panicked. "We are on the line 157337. We are running north and south." Then, complete silence. Forever. Investigators later concluded that Amelia and Fred had simply run out of fuel while searching for the island. They likely ditched into the ocean. But where? That's where the story gets complicated. President Franklin D. Roosevelt personally ordered the search. What followed was the most expensive and extensive air and sea search in American history, costing $4 million in 1937 money, over $80 million today. The USS Colorado, the USS Lexington aircraft carrier, battleships, destroyers, minesweepers, 4,000 men, 65 planes. They searched for 16 days. They covered an area larger than Texas. They found absolutely nothing. On July 19, 1937, 17 days after she vanished, the search was officially called off. Amelia Earhart was declared legally dead in January 1939. She was 39 years old, but not everyone believed the simple explanation. And that's when the theories began. Theory 1, she crashed into the ocean. Official theory. The U.S. government's conclusion: Amelia ran out of fuel, landed on the water, and sank. The Electra would have sunk within minutes. Given the depth of the Pacific at that location, over 17,000 feet, finding the wreckage is nearly impossible even today. Simple, logical, but unsatisfying. Theory 2, she landed on a desert island, the Gardner Island theory. In 2012, researchers from TIGAR, the International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery, found bones on the uninhabited island of Nikumaroro, 350 miles southeast of Howland Island. Forensic analysis suggested they were from a woman of Northern European descent around Amelia's height. They also found 1930s-era artifacts: a woman's compact, a zipper, glass jars, aluminum panels matching the Electra. Could she have landed on this island and survived for days, or even weeks, before dying alone? Theory 3. She was captured by Japan, the spy theory. The most controversial: some believe Amelia was actually on a secret spy mission for President Roosevelt, photographing Japanese military bases in the Pacific. When her plane went down near Japanese-controlled islands, she was captured. 2 former U.S. soldiers who served in the Pacific War claimed they saw a white woman being held prisoner on Saipan Island. In 1970, a woman named Josephine Blanco Akiyama said she saw 2 American flyers, a man and a woman, brought to Saipan by Japanese soldiers in 1937. The U.S. government has never confirmed or denied this theory. The search for Amelia Earhart has never truly stopped. In 1992, Tiger began systematic expeditions to Nikumaroro Island. Over 13 expeditions, they have recovered over 100 artifacts that may be linked to Amelia, including pieces of aluminum that match the exact specifications of the Lockheed Electra. In 2023, a deep-sea exploration company called Deep Sea Vision used an underwater drone to scan the ocean floor near Howland Island. They captured sonar images of what appears to be an airplane-shaped object resting 16,000 feet below the surface. The images were blurry, but the shape matched the Lockheed Electra's dimensions. As of 2024, a full expedition to photograph and recover the object is being planned. If confirmed, it would finally close one of history's greatest mysteries. But until that day comes, Amelia Earhart is still missing. She said those words once, and she lived by them until the very end. We don't know exactly what happened on July 2nd, 1937. We may never know. But we know this. Amelia Earhart flew higher, went farther, and dreamed bigger than anyone of her time. And somewhere out there, whether on the floor of the Pacific or on a quiet island no one thought to look, she's still waiting to be found. If this story moved you, like and subscribe, because every week we bring you the hidden stories that history forgot. See you next time.